on this beech trunk just here is something particularly interesting. Something that I've seen for years, and not just on tree trunks, but on fences and heather, all sorts, a whole range of locations. I've seen this, and for many years I wondered exactly what it was. And now I know. Over the years, Dillis and I traipsed around the woodland tracks and pathways of Sherwood Forest and the wider area of Nottinghamshire, and on many instances we found this. Sometimes it was on heather, and sometimes on fence posts and the like. This one's on a beech tree, and at first, when we first saw this, we wondered exactly what it was, and then when we had a closer look one day, realised that it was a dead caterpillar, and I left it at that and thought no more of it. But over subsequent years, I kept seeing these time and time again, and began to wonder whether there was something more to this just being a dead caterpillar. And indeed there is, because this is the work of Aliodes leptophema, or words to that effect, which is a braconid wasp. It's a parasitic wasp, and a wasp which isn't very good if you're the caterpillar in question. Now, I know absolutely nothing about braconid wasps. That branch of Hymenoptera I've never got into, fascinating as it is, but I am quite fascinated by the work that they do, so to speak. It's not very nice for the caterpillar, I know, but everything has a use and everything has a purpose in life. And Aliodes leptophema has a purpose which greatly affects a number of caterpillars. I believe this is the caterpillar, or was the caterpillar, the winter moth. It's the most likely suspect. You tend to find these early in the year, but they can last for many years. But the interesting thing about leptophema is what it does. It obviously lays its egg in the body of the caterpillar. The larva hatches out of that egg, feeds on the contents of the caterpillar, and while the caterpillar is dying, it promptly fixes itself or remains attached to the trunk of the tree and dies. The wasp hatches out, of course, and then the caterpillar just dries out. It becomes effectively mummified, hence the name that Aliodes leptophema often gets as being the mummy wasp, or the mummifying wasp, because that's exactly what it does. It does this. It does mummify these caterpillars, and you'll see these, they're about 1 centimetre in length. The caterpillar would have been a lot larger, but obviously because of death and fluid loss, it shrinks. It becomes mummified. And it's a question that for me remained unanswered for many years. I could have researched it, but I'd got a lot on recording everything else, and especially everything that was living. But over the last few months I'd started to see these again, and quite often they were out of reach of the camera. This one's about 3 feet off the ground. And I thought I should really look into what causes these, because I know many people will have seen them and wondered what they were. It's not just a dead caterpillar, it's the work of the mummy wasp, or the mummifying wasp, Aliodes leptophema. So there, There's another useful little nugget of information for you. But at least I answered my own question of the past 20 or so years.